Good morning, everyone. This morning we're going to be working on my Hibiscus Bonsai. We're going to be cutting it back and repotting it today. You can see here that our trunk has thickened up quite a bit. Our main trunk. A year ago it was about the same thickness as any of the other three upper trunks. So it's almost doubled in size. One thing I've noticed so far about this hibiscus is throughout its growing period, it leaves behind a woody trunk quite soon after the new green. So here you can see we have the very recent growth. And just shortly ago, hardly a month ago, you can see right here where it's just starting to get woody. And as we go down this trunk here, we can see the older wood. So yeah, it builds up like a bark on it quite soon after its new green. Thought that was interesting. Now, just before we repot it, we'll give it a spin around here so we can see the whole tree. It just got done going through a large blooming stage. We had many blooms, and we got a few more on the way, but not a lot at this time. Alright, so we'll pull it out and we'll see what the roots look like. Well, we can see a lot of our roots ended up near the bottom. Quite different roots. That's our screen. Some of our roots were actually ending up near the top here. I had to put some more soil over them and tuck them back down inside, so they're really starting to grow to the top of the pot. Well, these roots really are quite different. They're very tender. They're not hard and fibrous at all, like they're just easily just falling apart. Well, I'm going to go ahead here and clean this up in some water, and I'll be right back. Well, now this really is quite interesting. It actually really did fill the pot just beneath the surface of the soil. On top, it's quite fibrous, and down below we have very thick roots. So it really did grow a lot of roots in 1 year. Look at that really thick one there. It's nice and flat on the bottom. We got nothing major that's coming out that we have to trim back. Yeah, it's actually looking like spaghetti. Well, we'll just start up here and just come in and cut a lot of this off. Okay, so we're left with mainly our fibrous roots. Take a look at this one here. We gotta come way in here until that starts to straighten up. Probably would be a good idea if I use an older pair of scissors for this. Well, I can't really rake these roots out. These are very, very delicate roots. I'd say they're even more delicate than my bougainvillea roots. I could almost just pull these all off if I put too much pressure on them. So I think I'm going to go wash these down a little bit more. Wash them out really good. And we'll run through the roots the best that we can and see what we got to do further inside here. Okay, so we're back. We got them cleaned out pretty good. You can see this root here right beside this other larger one came out and took off this way here. We're going to cut that out. And if we turn it around here, you can see this is happening on the other side here also. You can see here we've got another one coming out and taking off at another undesired angle. So we'll cut that one out too. This one's growing almost vertical, so we'll cut him off. Now if we come down and look at the bottom again, we do have a few that we can remove here. See, we have another one here that takes off on an angle. We'll cut him out. I think other than that, we're just going to leave this go. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. So we'll get this potted now. Okay, so we'll put our drainage screen in. We'll just gently move the soil around. And that looks good from back here. So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of our soil in. Okay, so here we are with it repotted. What we're going to do for now is we're going to put a rock down in here to better stabilize it. Now you'll notice that I didn't cut it back before we repotted it, because this time I was going to be planting it in an upright position, and I've got different ideas of how I want to cut this back. I think I like this position better than the slant. I kind of like having this one branch taken off to the right, and this other branch, this far left branch or trunk, growing more upright but off to the left. So I'm kind of liking that. And because it was on a slant to the left, this one obviously they were all growing kind of this way up towards the light. So I think this is how I ended up with this shape. So we'll give it a good watering now, and then we'll look at where we're going to be cutting it back. Okay, so we have our tree well watered, and now we're going to start cutting it back. Now, keeping in mind that I do want to keep this as a smaller tree. I think we're going to start with cutting out some of the larger leaves. I think we'll start over here. And I think we're gonna, for now, let's bring it back to here. And I think the top, we'll bring it back to here for now. It's quite incredible how woody that gets not too long right after it grows. And over here, we'll take that back to here. So this is what we're kind of left with for now. I've got some smaller leaves that are coming out near the ends here, so I'm just going to remove these larger ones. So if we turn it around, so what would be the back view? Remove a couple of these other larger ones. Okay, one thing we can do is definitely take our rock away now, because we're really not top heavy on that at all anymore. It's really nice and firm in there now. It's not going anywhere. So I think that's pretty much it for now. We'll go back to the front here. I think what we could do is just remove a couple more of these leaves. Also, I'd like to cut this back to here. This one back just a little bit further to here. And we'll leave our top a little bit longer, actually almost maybe a little bit longer than what I'd really like it. We'll bring that back to here. And we're going to go with this for now. This is still a very basic structure. It's got so far to go. But I'm going to have fun. And I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. I know we have some larger leaves on it, and it doesn't look like much yet. But I'm hoping about 10 years down the road, or 15 years down the road, it can start to look like something. So we're going to leave it like this for now. And I'll put it with my bougainvillea in a bright area, but a shady area, until I see some vigor starting to come back in it. And I'll put it back out in the sun for what remainder of the summer there will be, until I got to bring it inside. Well, that's it for today, guys. And that's my young hibiscus bonsai. Have a great day.